Come on, Don. Come on. We're getting started. I want to welcome everybody to the retirees dinner for everybody who retired in 2018. Few people aren't going to be here tonight. Roy Wilkinson, he won't be here. He's in Colorado. He's building a new home out there. I don't see Al Strong. He's still doing inspections. He's not going to be here. And Bill Lauer, evidently, is not going to be here. Want to start a winner's choice. We always use. They do our plaques every year. The Foster's camp and Super Wayne. They always do our plaques for us. So. Also, once in a while we get photographs from Mike McDonald. Some of the photographs in here are also from Larry Moore. He has a lot of them from Penn's house. And many were borrowed from people's Facebook pages as well. Start with Roy Wilkinson. Roy, like I said, he's out in Colorado now. He went to Kenmore. He played baseball. He golfed there. Went to The Ohio State University. He was an engineering student there. And while he was there, they actually designed a bobsled. And he was part of that, but it was disqualified because evidently they made some cheating, so never made it to the Olympics. He's married to Judy. He has a son, Logan, who's 24. His son just started in the Homeland Security. He's got a degree in that. He says that Howard Watson is the reason that he took the fire test. He wouldn't give me any other information other than Howard Watson. He worked at Station 4, 8. At ACE, he said he worked with Herb, Triola, Warner, and Kosas. That sounds like quite a motley crew. Then he went back to Fours, and he ended up in Hazmat. That's where he ended. When he and his wife retired, they decided to look at Tennessee and Colorado. They decided on Cortez, Colorado. They bought 8 acres, and they are building a home out there right now. He actually had to take a class by the government to be able to learn how to landscape properly because of wildfires to protect his home. And they're trying to copy him into being a volunteer firefighter. Al Strong. Al was doing a buster inspection today in the fall, so that's where I guess he still is. He went to Buchel. He played football since he was 8 years old. His senior year, they actually won the City Series. He attended Kent State, got a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in graphic design. He actually did that for AMHA for a while and kept it as a B job. His cousin wanted to be a firefighter and talked to him into taking the test. They both took the test. His cousin did not get hired, but Al did get hired. He worked at Threes with Tom Morrison and with Jimmy Vaughn, and he said Jimmy doesn't have any recollection of this, but he said that Jimmy asked him if he wanted to be in the mess, and he said, well, what are we having? And after he found out what they were going to eat, he said, yeah, I'll be in, and Jimmy proceeded to walk over, pick up a plate, throw it on the floor, and break it, and said, well, you don't have to worry about it now, that was your plate. So he never asked him what they were having. He worked at 10, one's with Reese. 3 6s, 5s, 12s, and retired out of fire prevention. His retirement plans, he bought a house across the street from where he lives now, and he's working on that. He's planning on doing some traveling, and he's still doing inspections at this time. And your mouse is dead. Where's Hudson? There we go. Some early pictures of Al. And there's some real early pictures of Al. It's like the progression of Al. That's what he looked like the second one there when he was playing football. Freddie Simmons. Freddie's not originally from the area. He moved here from North Carolina. He's a graduate of East High School when he got here. He attended the University of Akron. Oh, hey. He's married. He's got 4 adult children, 1 boy, 3 girls, 3 grandchildren. And before he got on the fire department, he was a deputy with Summit County. And he decided to take the fire job because he thought it was a better type of job and better pay. When they asked what stations Freddie worked at, he said all of them. I don't know if that was by design or he just kept getting moved around. Freddie bought 20 acres in southern Ohio, and he's trying to work on it now and plans on building a home down there, and that's where he's going to end up when he's finally got his new home done. Since he's here, everybody give Freddie a hand. B.B. Johnson. How did we get the name B.B.? What's B.B. from?
I used to work with my dad. His name was Bill. So I thought he was Bill's boy.
B.B. went to Kent Roosevelt High School. He was on the swim team and played ice hockey. And you have a temperamental mouse. Anyhow, he was in the Marine Corps. Thank you for your service. Hey Jason, you want to remedy your mouse? Anyhow, Needy's been married for 26 years. His son Clay, he went through the Sheriff's Academy together. The two of them went through the Summit County Sheriff's Academy recently. His son Eric just graduated from AGM Medic School, paramedic. His early jobs were done in Quigley, where he said he worked with Howe, Hildbrand, and O's. That sounds like a good crew. There you go. Anyhow, he got interested. He was on the ski patrol at Brandywine, and he had to take first aid. And from first aid, he ended up becoming an EMT and then a paramedic, and it was a natural progression from that to join the fire department. He only did so much with that work, he finally went out of business. He worked at 2s, 7s, 10s, and your mouse is temperamental again. Oh, there we go. And 8s, 4s, 14s, back to 4s, to 7s, and back to 4s. And his retirement plans are to look for employment with the police department since he recently graduated from Summit County Sheriff's Academy. He's got some applications out at the moment. That's what it is? Okay. There we go. Dave Hall. Dave Hall was a North Viking where he played football and baseball. Oh, what we got? Oh, okay. My bad. 1985. 1985. Dave served in the Army. Thank you for your service. He's been married to Denise for 35 years. He has 2 kids, David and Emily, and a 21-month-old granddaughter. He was doing accounting before he decided to get on the fire department, and thought that was kind of boring. He wanted something that had structure like the military, so he took the police test. Didn't get hired off of that, took the fire test, and there we have it, as retired as district chief. He worked at 7s, 2s, 3s. I always loved the old ones that look like, it looks like a mugshot. 7s, 2s, yeah. 7s, 2s, 3s, 4, 5, skip 6, 7, or skip 6, went 8, 9, 10, and 14, and retired as the A shift commander. His retirement plans are to travel and fish. I know they've been to Hawaii, they did the Bourbon Trail, been to St. Louis, down to Louisville for March Madness. So he's planning on doing some more traveling as well. Everybody give me a hand. Okay, Bill Bauer. Tried to get a hold of him. No real luck getting a hold of him. So I got some information through Tony. Tony got the information. Tony Lalli. He's got 2 adult children. I think the place he working on boats before he got in the fire department, which was on Cogga Falls Avenue. I think that used to be Bridges Boat down there, and that was his B job for a while as well. I didn't know this. There's not too many people that stayed their whole career at a station, but Tony says he was at Tents his entire career.
13's on paper, but never went.
Yeah, 13's on paper, but never went there. Okay. He's living in Catawba now. I don't know, that's kind of blurry, but I kind of zoomed in on top of a picture on Facebook. Anybody have a clue what the hell's going on in this picture? I found this on Facebook, and I'm sure that alcohol's involved, but I'm not really sure what these guys are doing. Any idea whatsoever? That's a foot bay? They have special fire hydrants up there that they have beer come out of or something? That's the only thing I can figure, that beer comes out of it. Drunk weekend, okay. Yeah, I was sure that. All right, so now we got Tony Lalli. Tony made it. You were one of the first things you were going to. Okay, what year was that? 1980, huh? Wow, it's looking pretty dapper. That's you in the white, correct? Yeah, okay. Was that at high school or? Okay, I like that. He attended The Ohio State University. Served in the Army. Thank you for your service. He's married. His 2 sons next on the job now. Hopefully Jake will make it on the job. He's got some time before he ages out to take a few more tests, so maybe we'll get him on the job as well. He was 5 years in the Army, went from that into school and went directly into the fire department. That was a succession there. His cousin talked him into going on the fire department, and his father was a police officer. And I think his father wanted him to be on the fire department rather than follow in his footsteps in the law enforcement. He worked at 7s, 6s, 4s, and 10s, of course. A lot of time at 10s with these guys. We have one more picture. He got a summer place up on Marblehead, and they're permanently going to be up there now. It turned from just a temporary thing to a permanent thing. So that's his retirement plans up there fishing. So let's give it up for Tony. Rick Day, he was a Hogan Knight. He played football, he wrestled. Married 28 years. Where is Rick? Where's he hiding at? So, two children, correct? Two adult children, 21 and 25, okay. He roofed with, and a lot of you guys aren't going to know this name, but many of you will. He roofed with Garski before he got on the fire department. And that stayed his B job for a long time. The reason he decided to get on the fire department, there's his hiring picture. It wasn't one of the nice ones that looked like a profile picture, but it's still a nice little picture there. Whoop, I went too far. His dad told him to get a real job, take the test and get a real job rather than keep roofing, so that's why he got in the fire department. He worked at Nines, became a medic at Ace, correct? And 2s, 9s again, 4s, 10s, 7s, and 3s. He's still doing right now, he's still doing his inspections. That's his inspection business. But he bought 6 cabins in northern Michigan, and in a few years, they're going to be moving up there permanently in northern Michigan. Ray Bay. Mike Scott. Mike has a really interesting picture, but he's got his class A on it, but it still looks like a mugshot. Over the years, when I worked in fire investigation and I'd be out on fires with Mike, it was always every day. Mike would say, "How you doing today?" And I'd say, "Peachy." Then after a while, he didn't even ask me how I was doing. It just started going, "You doing peachy? You doing peachy?" So I've changed from peachy, so now I'm fabulous, and I've got a break-in from peachy because even the emails and the text he was sending me for this, he kept talking about peachy all the time. So he's a Walsh warrior. He wrestled for Walsh. He played football till his sophomore year when he broke his femur and it ruined his dreams of ever getting in the NFL. I'm really, is Shoemaker working tonight? That's unfortunate because I had some questions. Maybe past you could give me an idea. Did they change SOPs? Do the captains now go out and take pictures of what everybody's doing and fun stuff out on the calls? Because that seems to be a commonality after Shoemaker sent me a bunch of pictures and it just looks like, yeah, they're just out having fun taking pictures. That was that little party that they had, and Mike was a little surprised there now, and there's some more pictures with taking pictures at the fire scenes. Okay, anyhow, Mike attended Xavier and Kent University. He's married to Beth for 32 years. Has a son Ethan, daughter Rachel, and a daughter Liz. Their first grandchild is due in July. His first job was private EMS, and he worked for AGMC, and that just was the natural succession. He saw, well, I'll go into medics, and as he saw again, being a medic's not the thing it's always cracked up to be, so he decided to just join the fire department at that point. When I asked how many stations he worked at, all he said was many. He worked in hazmat as far as one of the bureaus, worked in fire prevention, and retired as a shift commander. Something interesting a lot of people might not know is he did some mini triathlons, and I went out and watched a couple times when he was participating. And I think one of the first ones he participated in was out of Portage Lakes. And he had no idea when he signed up that they have different divisions, and he signed up for Masters. He just thought that had something to do because he was old. And so here he found out that these were people that had done some triathlons. Yet I think he still placed in that race.
There's only 2 masters other than me. I got
Oh, okay, only 2 Masters. Well, that makes total sense. Only 2 Masters, so that's why.
And Ed Burge is still pissed about it.
Anyhow, his retirement plans are to be a good grandparent since they're expecting their first grandchild. He wants to continue to golf, although it's not very well. And he just was sworn in the other day in Bath, because it's close to his home, as a part-time inspector out in Bath. So, Mike Scott. And the end. I had to put the Motley look of Bill Monson in there. So, would any of the retirees like to make any comments at all? Anybody want to say anything? Phoebe, want to speak up? You want to talk? You want to say something? Come on.
Well, I just want to say thank you, brothers, for coming out. These were the most, memorable, wonderful years of my life. Obviously, working with you guys in the fire department was an honor. And I just look back like fondly and with joy and pride my years on the fire department. I was thinking of a couple of stories when I came over here that I thought I might share. Hopefully they'll go over. When I got, most of you guys know, I got passed over, and I had kind of a struggling career. So I was working at 10, and I was kind of blue, kind of down in the dumps, and but I worked with Dave Fuller, who could usually keep a smile on your face, and he had it in his mind one day that we should all have nicknames. So I played along, and finally asked me, well, Mike, what do you want to be? What's your nickname? I was like, well, I kind of like to be called Cap. And so I was Cap for like the next 10 years. Pretty much everybody, while I was still a lieutenant, in front of chiefs on the fire ground, that really did become my nickname. It was funny. So, and then I eventually got like 14 years later. The other story was this is for all the future supervisors or guys who are ambitious to be promoted, or you may have incidents like this. So I was working with the fellow some of you guys might know who he was in most of our class, Joe Livingston. So this story is said with the fact. So I was working with him one day as a young lieutenant, but we were contemporaries, we came on together. And he was like, hey Mike, I need some comp time today. And this was back in the time period where nobody took they didn't give you comp time, basically. But I would plead his case. I was like, okay, Joe. So I called Bogner, my buddy Bogner, and I go, hey, Chief, I got Joe Livingston over here and he wants some comp time today. He's like, comp time? What do you want comp time for? I said, I don't know. I'll go ask him. I said, hey, Joe, he wants to know why you want comp time. And he goes, I got a sick friend in the hospital. I said, okay, well, sounds legit. He's got a sick friend in the hospital. Okay, give it to him. So, 6 hours later, Joe comes back. I was like, hey Joe, how's that friend of yours in the hospital? And he's like, what? That friend you visited. He's like, I didn't visit. Oh, Mike. Yeah, I got a friend in the hospital. I didn't say I was going to go visit him. Oh, that's cool.
a lot. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks everybody for coming. Go drink beer. Lots of it.
Did you know any Jawari?
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna go down there. This wasn't Joe. This would be Gary or Bill. You know what? They probably do know. They're real actors. They're fantastic. Kind of Randy Bruce.